Red FM's FIFO Life. Big Al here with you, and I'm now joined by Alex from Chesswork Group. How are you, Alex?
Very well.
Now, let's talk a little bit about Chesswork Group. Cool name, first of all, I have to say that. Where'd the name come from?
I came up with it. I'm a bit of a chess nerd myself, actually, but it's a bit of a play on words. Instead of guesswork, chesswork. It's about planning your next move.
Excellent. That's very clever. I like that. Very, very smart. Now, you offer a huge range of services we were talking a little bit about off air. Can you list them off for me?
Yeah, Chesswork Group is an organisation, I guess you'd call us a wealth management group, and we've got three organisations after that. We've got Chesswork Finance, Chesswork Property, and Chesswork Planning. So,
okay.
Yeah, so we're all about helping people, reduce their home and personal debts in record time without changing their lifestyle. We then show them how to use debt correctly in order to build a significant investment portfolio. And then we look at superannuation strategies to, ensure that they don't retire in poverty, basically.
I've never heard the term use debt correctly. That's very smart. So it's taking advantage of the loans that you'd already have.
Definitely. I mean, one of the big things between, investing in property or investing in shares is the idea of leverage. So, if you took $300,000 worth of shares versus $300,000 worth of property over a long enough timeline, shares will probably win, if you look at the stats. However, what they don't tell you is that if you took that $300,000 and bought three properties at $300,000 and those properties, doubled, at that rate, because you've leveraged that and you used debt to actually acquire those investments, they're actually going to outperform the shares in terms of capital growth.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk a little bit about property investing. You're a strong believer of that?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a very, very big believer in property investing, but I'm also a very big believer that, there is a potential to lose money as well. Mm-hmm. So it's really about, running the numbers, having a cold-hearted perspective of it, and basically looking at it from a different perspective than when you're buying your own home. Obviously, most people like to buy in the areas, that they've grown up in or, they've got some
at least they know or can travel to. Yeah, I can understand that completely. But this, you're talking a little bit more about just looking at as a purely financial reason of purchasing this.
Definitely, and more often than not, especially in WA or even in Perth itself, is probably not the best area to actually invest in right now. Whereas you've got a lot of other areas around the country. If you look at Australia as one market and you really want to chase growth, then it's time to actually expand your scope and look at areas that are absolutely booming right now. As most listeners know out there, the mining boom is over. And we've experienced a lot of those cutbacks, and people listening to the show would know heaps of people that have lost their jobs recently. That's having a massive impact on the state and even in Perth itself. And so we've seen a decline in the property market in Perth, both in capital growth and rental yields. Whereas if you look at somewhere like, New South Wales or Victoria or Queensland, these places are booming right now.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Wow, I think you've just got the attention of every single person listening right now. What other challenges do you think that our FIFO workers have to face?
I think the biggest challenge financially that FIFO workers have to face is not spending all the money that they're making.
So hard.
Yeah. And this is the thing. I mean, you can make $200,000 a year, but it doesn't really mean much if you're going to spend $200,000 a year. And so, ultimately the difference between, people who create wealth and people who are living paycheck to paycheck is that people living paycheck to paycheck, they spend their money on their bills, their groceries, all the necessities, and then they pretty much spend what's left. Whereas wealthy people do a budget first of all, work out what their expenditures are, then work out like a sensible, spending portion that they can, just blow money on, and then save what's left and invest that.
Yeah, very, very good. People want more information. I understand you have an ebook at the moment, and people are trying to tighten up that budget. It's for free.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So I've got two ebooks coming out actually. The first one is Property Investing: 11 Mistakes You Should Avoid at All Costs. And the second one is the top 9 home loan mistakes that people make. And so, big part of my ethos is to, get your home loan under control and pay that off as fast as you can, doing it with the right loan structures and implementing a good strategy and plan to do that. And then using that equity and extra cash flow to invest in property and to invest in property in such a way that it's actually going to replace your income.
The dream.
Yeah, the dream, which is part of the, I suppose what everyone's looking for is some kind of exit strategy out of the FIFO life. People are there, they're going to work, working their asses off.
Yep.
And, I'm sure people can relate to, if they don't relate themselves, they know other people that have been there for 10 years and said, oh, we'll just do it for 5 years and set myself up. And then here they are 10 years later and all they got to show for it is a debt on 2 jet skis and a Range Rover.
Absolutely. Well, if people want to find out where they can get this book from, what's the website?
It's www.chessworkgroup.com.au.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for your chat today and looking forward to chatting again.
Fantastic. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Alex there from Chesswork Group. We're here to help. For more info, go to the website, chessworkgroup.com.au, or give them a call on 1300 295 138. That brings an end to Five for Life for this week. To listen to any of the segments we've gone over today, you can do so at the website, redfm.com.au.